Ladies and gentlemen, investigating Mr. Beast. This is interesting. CoffeeZilla 37 minutes ago. Holy shit, let's check it out, man.
Recently accused of making $23 million with insider trading and scams. I wanted to know the full story, so I reached out to everyone, from researchers to crypto projects, even to Mr. Beast himself. And let me say, the story is more complicated than you think.
Oh, is he gonna go to bat for Mr. Beast?
Clear what Mr. Beast did.
I don't think he would. I think CoffeeZilla has insane integrity.
What his
and because of the lawsuit with Logan Paul CoffeeZilla and Logan Paul Mr. Beast being kind of in a let's call it a polycule for lack of a better word with KSI and Mr. Beast, probably he sees them as similar.
If you love Mr. Beast, there will be an explanation at every turn and a scapegoat. But if you hate Mr. Beast, what I'm about to show you will seem unethical and like a clear abuse of fame for money. So already,
Tell us if it crossed the line, though. That's what I want you to do, please.
This story is difficult, but I want to make you aware of two more things which matter. First, I have gone to Mr. Beast's team to try to fact check.
Dude, what is this? What is this emote? Wait, what? There's a gem sitting there on the market set to explode. You replied, super zany face. You're alleged to have been an investor in Super's pre-sale, not disclose your investment in the tweet, and on the same day a wallet tied to you was selling the token. Whoa.
Secondly, I have a bit of history with Mr. Beast. I interviewed and spoke positively about him in the past, but also his new co-founder is suing me.
That's what I said.
As always, I just want to let you know where I'm coming from, and I've tried to get all sides of the story.
Thank you,
We're going to start with the major allegations against Mr. Beast and Bill.
The multiple wallets thing is crazy, that Twitter thread.
Which claims Mr. Beast made $10 million by backing low-cap crypto tokens, which are down 90%. And the second investigation comes from a group of 5 people who investigated Mr. Beast and found $23 million in profits from, quote, scams, shady deals, and his network. Some of these allegations, I agree, are bad. Others, I think, are actually worse than have been reported. And
I personally, and I think this is like what everyone thinks, I don't care if they are bad so much as I care as he broke the law, because I have no problem making my own like moral judgments on the things Mr. Beast is doing. In fact, I think most crypto trading, this is just me personally, is cringe. Right? At a certain level, I'm just going to group them all together, and it's hard to convince me otherwise. I would like to know if Mr. Beast did an illegal monetary operation using these crypto wallets.
So we're going to start with what I don't agree with. According to the report, Polychain Monsters, or PMON, is a project which KSI promoted heavily. Mr. Beast did not. But Mr. Beast did get in the pre-sale and make a lot of money. And thus, the conclusion is made, it's highly likely Mr. Beast made an investment from that insider information of KSI's promotional deal. But there's simply no evidence provided of this. I have the same thoughts about Jigstack, another coin which KSI promoted, and the conclusion is, though Mr. Beast did not officially follow Jigstack, in his network, KSI was involved in promoting Jigstack. From this information, Mr. Beast invested and made a large return. Now, I asked the team who wrote this piece, and the lead author, Casper Vandeluk, told me, quote, having known Mr. Beast's having a very strong connection with KSI, it's basically highly probable he was vested as a result of KSI. No concrete evidence, just going off probabilities.
Sure, but like, what does that mean? Probabilities? It's like, yeah, it's likely, but we don't know. You need the smoking gun.
I'm going to say I don't agree with that, and I'm going to toss those probabilities aside. I think they reach too far.
Thank you.
Instead, I'm going to stick with what we can prove happened. Starting with Super. This is the project Mr. Beast is alleged to have made the most amount of money on, over $10 million based on a pre-sale of $100,000. As for evidence, we have
$10 million on Super?
Have leaked screenshots showing Mr. Beast telling Super's founder that he can do 100K. Then we have a wallet that both investigations traced to Mr. Beast, sending 100K to the presale wallet. And then we have the same wallets getting millions of these Super tokens in a period of unlocks, which were almost all sold aggressively. Now, why is this bad? Well, Mr. Beast is obviously hugely influential, and he publicly associated himself with the project twice. Once on March 3rd, 2021, he responded to a tweet with eyeball emojis. And then he interacted a second.
I like that eyeball emojis on Twitter is like enough. Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
The founder, Leo Trades, had tweeted, there's a gem sitting there on the market at eye-watering prices set to explode during the DeFi Summer 2.0. Mr. Beast's response.
Dude, crypto is so fucking cringe.
But what he doesn't say is that he'd already purchased a huge stake in Super at this point, And on the day that he's tweeting, he was selling tokens, allegedly. Not only that,
allegedly.
In the 72 hours after the May 12th tweet, Mr. Beast sold about $200,000 worth of these tokens. And remember the context. He's responding to the founder of the coin discussing a gym at eye-watering prices that's going to explode during the summer. And
right.
Mr. Beast's response is the coin he's selling. So publicly, it's signaling, hey, Super is this undervalued coin. And
you
privately,
gotta buy now.
Mr. Beast allegedly sold. Now,
do you think Kavi's lawyers went through and noted all the places he has to say allegedly? That is funny because he does like add it when he has to. I think he's just actually a smart guy that's good at what he does.
I got a heavily lawyered statement from a spokesman who I'm going to warn you is about to complicate things. Quote, these investments were made and managed in consultation with industry experts to ensure full compliance with all appropriate rules and regulations. The wallet is not owned or managed by Jimmy, but rather a fund led by respected and sophisticated managers. The fund closely evaluated and scrutinized hundreds and hundreds of opportunities, which resulted in several investments. Some have been more successful.
Oh, interesting. By creating that layer of obfuscation, it means that Jimmy can essentially go out and pump anything. And then when they see him pump, they dump. And theoretically, it's like the left hand isn't talking to the right hand, right?
The fund's investment strategies apply the same rigorous standards as many other experienced investors in the field. Now, I have a lot of questions, but the big thing is Jimmy denies doing any of the trading or managing the trading and blames it on a fund. So I asked some obvious follow-up questions. What is the name of this fund?
Yeah, literally anything about the fund, right?
And what rules and regulations were followed that allowed you to tweet about a coin while your fund is selling? I didn't get a response. It's worth mentioning the spokesman is Matthew Hiltzik, a well-known crisis management consultant. Thankfully, online...
Love when YouTubers get crisis management PR. Bless up.
There still are a number of clues we can follow to try to find the right person for this fund. The reason most people link Mr. Beast to this wallet we've been tracking is mostly based on a tweet by Mr. Beast.
Oh, he left evidence. Hiring Harvey Weinstein's PR is, I mean, it's a person who worked at the agency, the PR agency that did Harvey Weinstein's PR. I get it, but I don't think that they were like, hey, Harvey, who's your guy? And then he had like the wolf come in, you know what I mean?
Which belonged to an account which goes by Wu-Tang Clan. People assume.
The way he said that is so funny.
But what is lesser known is that another account has also tweeted about CryptoPunks and has the same ties back to Wu-Tang Clan. A guy named Jason Williams. He's followed by Mr. Beast on Twitter. And I found Jason tweeting about another CryptoPunk saying, I hope you enjoy your new home, sold for 100 ETH. That sale he's talking.
Dude, those early crypto picture PNG guys made so much money.
About links back to the same address Mr. Beast does, Wu-Tang Clan. On YouTube, there's even more clues. Jason can be seen surfing wearing a Wu-Tang Clan shirt, and his brand name, Going Parabolic, happens to be owned by the same Mr. Beast wallet, goingparabolic.eth. So there's very good evidence that Jason Williams was also involved in this same wallet, which means that it might be true that Mr. Beast wasn't the guy.
ETF era was truly sickening. This guy is mixing up groupings of stocks with NFTs.
Buying or selling.
ETFs are great, man. You should buy ETFs. I actually think that ETFs are nice and safe and good. NFTs are the ones that'll really fuck you up.
Just when I thought Mr. Beast might have no say in what this wallet did, I saw this podcast with Logan Paul.
So me and Logan both bought punks. You guys will probably see on his Twitter that he bought a bunch of CryptoPunks at the same time, right?
Yep.
Gary pulled us in that call.
Yep.
So have you ever told that story?
No.
Gary V, it's like 11 p.m. just out of nowhere, just calls me and he's like, yo, I got like 30 people to call, hop in. I'm like, I don't care. He's like, it'll be the best decision of your life. Just get in. I was like, okay. Yeah. And so I just joined the call. And I just see like Logan and I don't even know these other people. I don't want to put them on blast.
Every heavy hitter you can imagine who's worth $1 billion was on this one call, and Gary V is in the little corner, the little square. He's going, CryptoPunks. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be the next Facebook. Where all of us were like, okay,
everyone's
Gary.
Judging. I'm texting Logan.
He's
I'm like, Gary lost
is
his
this legit? Bro, all of us were like, yo, Gary's nuts.
What the hell?
Yo, Gary was right again.
I bought
Was he?
a bunch.
Wait.
Yeah, I bought quite a few.
How many?
I don't want to say it, but
You have to
No,
say-
please.
bro, you
I,
have to.
I bought multiple ones. Yeah.
Well,
The
bro,
next Facebook is wild because it doesn't have like a use. It's a little picture, man.
are you in double digits, punks?
double, just shy.
This clip is very interesting because Jimmy said he made the decision to get CryptoPunks based on a call with Gary Vee. But those punks are owned by the wallet we just said was controlled by Jason. So it appears sometimes Mr. Beast is telling Jason what to buy for this fund. Mr. Beast then later talks about selling these CryptoPunks and rolling the money into a new project. And once again, it sounds like he's in charge.
Well, I've already sold quite a few of them, so I don't.
What?
Dude, he's on to the next thing.
I bought a bunch of, so then I rolled the money into VeeFriends because Gary, same thing, called me. He's like, VeeFriends. I was like,
What is VeeFriends? And why are people trusting Gary Vee? I guess they're making money. Gary Vee Friends. That's probably not the right. Welcome to VeeFriends. Oh, it's also an NFT thing. It's an NFT. Wait, children's book? Explore characters. The skilled skeleton. The sweet swan. The tasteful Malayan. It doesn't even fit. The tasteful Malayan tapir. Welcome to Burn Island. This volcanic island offers VeeFriends NFT holders the chance to unlock rare and valuable NFT collectibles. This makes me want to die. Gary Vee before NFT shit was a pretty good grind entrepreneur YouTuber. Pretty good, maybe we would disagree on because I think all of that is absolutely abhorrent. That's just my opinion. Say less. I'm a Gary Vee hater.
Make it difficult to assume Mr. Beast had no idea what's going on. He talks about CryptoPunks and VeeFriends like personal investments. And on
Right.
Twitter, he says that not only he bought CryptoPunks, he also tweets about loading up on VeeFriends. It is also abundantly clear Jason Williams was involved. He says, "Hey Gary, thanks for the VeeFriends gift code. It was a gift from Gary to Mr. Beast. I'm very thankful for it. He didn't have to send anything." So once again,
A gift from Gary to Mr. Beast. Why is Jason answering? I thought at the time he was one of the good ones, just saying why people would listen to him. Totally fair. I get why people would listen to him. I'm just, personally, I'm just a hater. And that's how I was born.
So now I want to turn back to Super. We know from leaked DMs that Mr. Beast and not Jason set up this pre-sale, and we know that Mr. Beast made...
It's funny to see Lachlan just like in the chat here, chilling.
Here's what we know. We know Mr. Beast set up the pre-sale according to leaked screenshots. We know Mr. Beast made the tweet,
Mr. Beast really getting kicked in the nuts lately, huh?
but we don't know whether it was Jason doing the trading of Super, or if he was doing the trading, did Mr. Beast know about it? Did Jason know about the tweet? I did, however, get a hold of Elio Trades, who is the founder of Super, and he insisted that Mr. Beast's tweet was not.
Oh, interesting. To answer your first question, I never asked Beast to tweet anything. As far as I know, no one associated with SuperVerse asked him to tweet anything, and I was certainly never personally aware of or pushing for him to do that. There was absolutely no deal around him promoting the token itself in any way. Did they give him super tokens though? Because there's a wallet that just filled up with them. Or did he buy them?
But you should know, he also mentions how upset he was with how pre-sale investors sold their tokens, saying,
Oh, or he was just given an offer to buy them pre-sale. Those how did it make you feel questions are ones I actually haven't thought about in a while. But yeah, I mean, it sucked. I was in a really dark place after the super token launch. Everyone who got into the round dumped and left, and the people who missed out wanted my head on a spike. I sunk into a pretty deep depression that I actually wrote a thread on. I was honestly with him and feeling really bad, so I was like, that I actually wrote a thread on.
So those are the facts. Mr. Beast gets involved in a pre-sale. For some reason, tweets at this project twice. One time on the day his fund is selling tokens, where he seems to imply that they're undervalued. In total,
Right.
he's alleged to have made
Super
$11 million
Xavier.
with this deal, according to the...
$11 million?
Now we're going to turn to another allegation, which is about Earn, or Ethernity chain. There are some facts which are the same. There are others that are different. For example, instead of Mr. Beast...
Shit, I want $11 million. I'm not willing to crypto scam. It's fucked up. It's fucked up, man.
They say, quote, Mr. Beast's fund was an early investor in our pre-sale.
Rocket
He
fund.
had the same unlock schedule as everyone else. Were we happy with the way he sold? Definitely not. But legally, there was nothing we could have done. And
Interesting.
then, just like with Super, they claim they didn't ask for a promotion of the project, but that Mr. Beast decided to comment once himself anyways. On March...
Right, you get them in early before other people. It is in the celebrity/influencer's best interest to pump up the value, and it is also in their best interest to sell before everyone else sells.
Mr. Beast responds to Ethernity chain saying, "This one will be hype." It's worth noting, once again, about 24 hours before saying this fund wallet purchased over $100,000 of earn tokens in addition to the presale. Now,
in addition to the presale, how are they able to get more?
the charity drop specifically did happen in association with one of Mr. Beast's projects, Team Seas, saying, quote, all proceeds will go towards cleaning up the seas around the world. This was early November 2021.
Damn, and the charity drop going to a charity that you manage is crazy. He had the shit going real well for him.
Then the CEO of Ethernity Chain, Nick Rose, confirms in Telegram that the drop is supported by Mr. Beast, saying Earn and ETH tokens will be accepted for the charity auction, which was slated to last 2 months. Now, the reason I'm sharing all of this is because 1 month into this 2-month charity auction on November 30th, 2021, the Rocket Fund or Beast Fund or whatever you want to call it starts selling huge amounts.
I mean, let's call it Rocket Fund because that is what they are calling themselves, right?
Allegedly, they sold over $2 million, while the charity itself was still going on. Now, I know that sounds horrible. It looks horrible. It is horrible.
Starting with it sounds horrible and ending with, yeah, it is horrible is so funny to me.
Personally, I don't think this was a master plan to pump a coin with a charity auction. If it was the plan, it was a bad one because the NFT auction was ultimately a flop. But do I also think it doesn't matter because regardless of your intentions, selling tokens within a month of your 2-month charity auction is wrong, stupid, and unethical?
Yeah.
Yes, I think that as well.
Of course it is.
Because in case you forgot,
Which is why, if we go back to the beginning, that is where it makes sense that there is a fund or team that is managing crypto for Mr. Beast that he doesn't necessarily talk to, that just does everything. And they would have like the plausible, be like, hey, we're selling it because it'll make us money. And he can be like, what? We're doing the charity. I'm really mad. Pretend to be mad. But if he's actually telling them like, hey, buy this thing. These people messaged me. Let's do it. It makes it really, 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 really shitty.
Whose name is on the website? It isn't a fund. It isn't a crypto rocket fund. It's Mr. Beast's branding. I even asked the Earn team about this, saying, quote, why did y'all list Mr. Beast instead of Rocket Fund in your partners' investors? Was that
Great question.
discussed? They say, quote, we listed him, Mr. Beast, as a partner and, quote, yes, they accepted that. So according to the Earn team, Mr. Beast knew or should have known that his name was...
Sorry, breaking news from a chatter. What if he sold canned beats as Mr. Beats? I can't believe he missed out on that opportunity.
on the line for this investment and partnership. And yet, this fund, his fund, whatever you want to call it, sold tokens 1 month after starting a 2-month NFT auction for charity. To be fair again, though, it's hard to oversell how bad this NFT auction did. I have found only one NFT that appears to have sold here, but the bids were made in the Earn token, which the fund was selling, and the actual sale of the NFT didn't happen until after the fund sold in November 30th. The transfer happened in December 23rd. So of course,
damn, it was $1,400 for the NFT. This whole Mr. Beast charity NFT thing only made $1,400 for charity? Are you kidding me?
We've established Mr. Beast would sometimes direct what to buy and sell to this fund, like CryptoPunks. Personally, like I said, I don't think this was a pre-planned scheme. But regardless of intentions, if you're the charity guy, you support a charity, it flops while your fund makes millions of dollars in profits because it's selling the same Earn token people could bid on the charity with, that just is awful. And you should feel awful about it.
Preach!
I want to move on from that to talking about our final token, Xcad. There's
another one?
The only reason we know Mr. Beast was in the presale is that there were several articles about it bragging about that fact. Once again, Mr. Beast's name was used to promote this instead of the fund itself. And internally to investors, I have to say, this built up a lot of excitement, not just because Mr. Beast is a huge name, but because Xcad had what's called creator tokens. So the idea to some investors is that, well, if they're investing, Mr. Beast and
Nico Amalana?
And I bring this up because some people might ask, like, what do these affiliations, how do they impact people buying these projects? And the answer from what I've seen is they actually do impact it quite a lot because people are anticipating like further involvement. And also the idea is like, they must not be investing unless they're long-term holders. You can see this in the Telegram chat. It became so common that in the Xcad community, one of the admins says, "Here we go again," another community member asking if there's any possibility of a Mr. Beast KSI token. And meanwhile, by the way,
even the thought that they would have a token is driving people buying the Xcad.
Behind the scenes, something entirely different had been happening. Like with Super and Earn, Mr. Beast's fund sold a lot of their Xcad.
Why would anyone ever buy a creator token? Maybe a creator created some type of, I don't know, Thunderdome, and you could wager your fucking creator token against them in a video game of skill. And then you could go away richer for it. I don't know, just a thought. Dude, that's so funny thinking back to like the first days of crypto. I was just throwing fucking tokens at you guys.
Founder of Xcad himself, Oliver Bell, who said they told him they were gonna do the opposite. He tells me, quote, "Hey, so Mr. Beast reached out to me during our pre-sale raise. A group was set up with his team, and we had a call with his team, and they said they liked the concept. There was no strings attached to the investment. They did, however, want a lot bigger ticket than what I offered them, which I'm glad I did not fulfill. We discussed not just flipping this token, as this can damage projects if people have decent sized tickets. It was my understanding we were aligned on this. However, after listing to which Xcad performed well, there was heavy dumping from a wallet linked to Mr. Beast's team."
Dude, Mr. Beast loves getting involved with crypto tokens, getting in on the initial investment, and then selling them, which is how all the rich people made money on crypto.
Now, Oliver later claims this discussion about flipping tokens,
I do some heavy dumping every morning, +2.
aligned about the fact they're not going to flip these tokens so quickly, was with Jason. And apparently, Oliver was so upset about what happened, he DM'd Jimmy directly, quote, explaining his team will ruin his reputation. And look, sorry to be a broken record, but yes, I reached out to Jimmy about this too. And once again, there was no reply.
Templated email.
Besides the statement we read earlier.
Yep.
It's worth mentioning that I asked Oliver for proof of this message about ruining relationships, and he said the message had been deleted on Telegram. So who you believe here is up to you. Oliver also says, quote, "I don't think Jimmy has a bad heart or is a bad person. I think he has genuine interest in the crypto space, but I think the team that handles his crypto is completely clueless." And
Am I smoking weed? Completely clueless? I think the team that handles his crypto is doing exactly what he would want, which is making him a fuck ton of money on crypto. Are they completely clueless, or are these people doing the initial coin offerings completely clueless, right? It seems like Mr. Beast just keeps making millions of dollars on these cryptos.
I don't think that Jimmy's crypto team is clueless. I think they saw an opportunity to...
Of course, CoffeeZilla is going to say the exact same thing. You know why? Because CoffeeZilla is a smart guy. What the fuck? What was I thinking? Pausing and saying that? Because I knew he's going to say the same thing.
They did some things that were shady. Whether or not you think they were also illegal is probably going to be shaped by our unanswered questions and where you fill in those gaps. For example, do you think Mr. Beast knew about the selling that was going on May 12th for the Super token? Why did he make that tweet? And then, do you think Mr. Beast knew about the charity auction and the selling that was happening on November 30th? And do you think Oliver Bell DM'd Mr. Beast and told him his crypto team would ruin his reputation? And if so, was that ignored? I hate to leave so many unanswered questions here, but I warned you, this was a complicated story. And a big part of the problem is the guy at the center.
Is it a complicated story at all? It doesn't seem complicated to me. It's Mr. Beast didn't do anything illegal. He did scam. Maybe scam is too harsh a word. He did take advantage of people who were trying to make money in crypto by pulling the rug out before they could. He did a classic pump and dump.
Of this story cannot or will...
Is that shitty? Yes. I don't fuck with it.
Not give more than a heavily lawyered statement through a spokesman who's a crisis management consultant. And let me just say, it's also frustrating that this statement takes zero accountability. Despite the fact Mr. Beast's team knew every major allegation that we're laying out here today, there is no mention of selling while Mr. Beast was tweeting about Super Token. There's no mention of them selling tokens.
Which he did. We know he did because we can see the wallet.
Tokens a month after they partnered with a 2-month charity auction.
Which we know he did because we can see the wallets.
I think to Mr. Beast and probably to his fund, maybe this is just business, you know? They set out to make a lot of money and they made a lot of money.
That's what I said.
What's the problem, right? This is America. They might think...
That's not what I said.
But look, honestly, I'd agree with them if they had done this crypto stuff without using Mr. Beast's name. But they want to have their cake and eat it too. This fund trades on Mr. Beast's name. As we've seen, They get in pre-sales based on his name. He tweets from his public account, and they're putting his name publicly on projects' websites.
So the story is, question from a chatter, Mr. Beast gets a crypto team. Yes. The team invests in coins. Yes. To be clear, invests in coins because they get offerings, initial coin offerings because of Mr. Beast's brand that other people would not get. Yes. Tells Jimmy to talk about it. That is something we don't know, but Jimmy does talk about it. And then they dump. Absolutely. So the question is, how involved is Jimmy between Rocket Fund and these initial coin offerings? Is he the one saying like, yeah, let's get into all these and sell and make money? Or is he just saying, fuck it, you guys do whatever you want. Oh, these are the coins that we're involved in. I'll tweet about them, right?
I want to close with the final part of this CryptoPunks podcast we showed you earlier, because in many ways, I think it's a microcosm of this story. Obviously, I have to say, I'm not making any comments or judgments about the guy who's suing me, who's also in this clip. That's just coincidence. I am only talking about Mr. Beast.
Only talking about Mr. Beast, by the way.
Because as Mr. Beast is talking about Gary Vee's great CryptoPunks call, there's a moment when the co-host says, hey, maybe instead of Gary Vee being a genius, maybe it's just the call itself that makes the market. And Mr. Beast kind of defends it. He says, no, that was in February. You know, CryptoPunks didn't pop until the summer. And, you know, I never talked about CryptoPunks until this very moment.
Can I ask you guys a question? When Gary does that call,
Shut up, Mike. It sucks that Mike was mean to my friend Ludwig, but I get it. It does seem like he is the voice of reason. You know what I mean? We're going to listen to Mike say something smart, and they are totally going to discount it, and it's going to be a bummer.
with all these billionaires, and 8 months or a year later, everybody's like, Gary was right again.
Yeah.
Is it possible that he's right because of the call?
Yes! Yes, Mike! That's why he's doing the call, Mike! Yes, you're onto something, Mike! He's doing the call because he is the original pumper. He is pumping the other pumpers. They're the super pumpers. He has access to the super pumpers. He gets the super pumpers involved. The super pumpers pump, and then everyone's pumped. Look at Logan's face like, hey, bro, why are you saying that? Sorry, we can't talk about Logan. He's suing him.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I think about that a
like,
lot.
dude, he has all these
I think about
billionaire
that a
market
lot.
makers.
What do you mean you think about that a lot? It's just the obvious answer.
in the thing.
think about
He
that a
makes
lot.
the call, makes the market. By the way, you look around at all the punk owners a year later, and you're like, damn, it's all the same motherfuckers that were on the call.
No, because bro, there's 10,000 punks, and there's only like 30 of us in the call. We can only own and do so much. There's still an entire market that's gonna happen regardless.
I can tell you, I don't think what, because that was all back like early February. Like
Right.
things didn't pop off till later, and every like NFT project was popping off, not just punks.
I mean, make no mistake. Like having such influential people involved in projects, it can't hurt the ability for.
Thank you, Mike. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. The most famous people on the internet being like vocal about how good the project is, even if it's just like it's going to the moon, zany face.
project to
but like,
work. You know what I'm saying?
95% of those people didn't even mention it. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
I've
right.
never talked about it publicly.
Yeah, but that last part isn't quite true. The
Huh?
reason we're all here is Mr. Beast tweeted about CryptoPunks the same day he bought them back in February of 2021. That's how we found his wallet, even though we now know someone else was involved too. And I would apply the same level of scrutiny to many of the investments we've talked about. Was it the genius of Jason Williams, Mr. Beast, or this fund that made them tens of millions of dollars? Maybe. Or was it the fact that the name they brought to the table was Mr. Beast, one of the most influential and valuable brands in the world? And that's what got them the great deals. That's what got them a bunch of eyeballs. That's what made it so valuable to have his name on these websites.
Of course. Of course. I know the CoffeeZilla is leading us to water here, but it's like, yeah, he was pulling shitty crypto scams the same way everyone was.
What made the market? Ultimately, I think it's for you to decide.
I know what I've decided. Do you think crypto inherently should be shut down? What an interesting question. Do I think crypto should inherently be shut down? Man, maybe I'm actually sipping the America Kool-Aid, because my first thought was like, well, shut down? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, man? Like, it should be fine. Do I think it has added like any good to the world whatsoever? No. I think my answer is no. I'd have to think about that one. I'd really have to think about that one. I think the reason why it's different to me is that I don't see cryptocurrency as a currency, because I don't believe anyone sees cryptocurrency as a currency. They see cryptocurrency as like a store of value and an investment. I feel no one is buying fucking VeeFriends because they're like, what a fun fucking game, man. I can't wait for my Malaysian tapir to fucking have a lot of fun with me. They're buying it because they're trying to make money. They are investing in it. There's no use case for it outside of I hope a greater fool comes along and buys this dumbass Bored Ape from me, right? And that is my issue with it. It just seems like someone is eventually going to get scammed, and whether that's like a regular Joe who is just uneducated, that feels bad, or even if it's a crypto pumper who ends up holding the bag, that's bad. It just feels like the world is better without it. You know what I'm saying? People view it the same way as Pokemon cards. At least Pokemon cards are fucking cool as shit, dude.